The Accountant is a movie that's getting a sequel that I really never thought would get a sequel. Just because it's one of those movies, came out in 2016, was a surprisingly really good movie and a box office hit, but it had been talks to get a sequel for a long ass time, and we're in 2025, almost 10 years ago this movie came out, and they're like, here's a sequel, and it comes out during spring break, which is such an odd time for that movie to come out, but I'm not complaining because I had never seen this movie before. I wanted to review it before the second one came out, and I actually really enjoyed this movie. This movie, is this directed by Ben Affleck? No, it's just directed by Kevin O'Connor, which he's a really good director. He does a great job with this movie, and just kind of really directing this movie in a way that really fleshes out its world and its characters. And I think that's why this movie has kind of been in talks about getting a sequel, because it's a really well fleshed out movie that they could add more to. It doesn't need to. Like, if they had never made a sequel, this would still be a good movie. But I feel like, this is a movie where they built out such a good world. These are the kind of movies you want sequels to, where the first movie give you this really well crafted, structured world, and you really grow to appreciate the world that the movie's set in, and so they're able to really give you a lot here. So I don't know. I think this movie really works. Ben Affleck's great in this movie. Anna Kendrick's great in this movie. J.K. Simmons. The whole cast does a really good job, and it's kind of a message about the past and certain things like that are just really well done. I think my only real criticism with this movie, which I think is a lot of people's criticism, this movie's kind of joked about being autism, but with guns, which is kind of funny way to describe it. This is a criticism I think is fair, but I also don't think ruins the movie, if that makes sense. Which is that a lot of autistic people criticize this movie because it gives you the idea that a lot of autistic people can be really fucking smart to a degree that it's like a superhuman ability in this movie. And, like, in a way, that can be true to some degree, but not the way they showed in this movie. It's kind of trope that autistic people are either really mentally slow in movies or they're really super geniuses above anybody else who can't. It's just like, okay, it's kind of true and it's kind of not in some ways. Like, autistic people can be very intelligent in very unique ways that other people wouldn't even think to be. And this is kind of one of those movies. But yeah, it's good, but I don't really think that ruins the movie because the movie's so good. It's just a trope that is kind of one that needs to die, or I mean, he could just be a guy who's super smart with numbers, really hyperly intelligent. He didn't need to be autistic. It's just kind of a funny factoid about his character that kind of could rub people the wrong way, may ruin it for other people, but not for me. I thought this was a very solid, really done, well done action movie that's not even really an action movie. I don't like, it's more of a drama with some action in a weird way, and it really works. If you've never seen The Accountant, check this one out. It's worth your time. Yeah, part 2 is coming out soon, and I'll be talking about that at some point. Let me know your thoughts, section, and subscribe.